Hey guys, Houls here from Houls Fitness, back with another Q&A Monday question. Now, a good friend of mine, Trav Meyer, has asked, how important is warm-ups and stretching to prevent injury? Okay, so first, let's differentiate between the two because they are very different. Stretching, you're essentially taking the joint or the muscle through the movement and you're getting it ready for what's about to come. Warming up consists of getting a blood flow and getting that particular muscle ready for what's about to come. So similar in nature, different by definition. So for example, you don't really want to stretch out a muscle if you're going to, I'll use squatting and leg press as an example. If you're going to do, and your goal is to lift as heavy as possible, stretching before a squat and or leg press type movement would not be beneficial because you're essentially stretching out the muscle, and when it comes time to put pressure on it, it's got too much like elasticity through it. So therefore, when you push on it, it'd be like a rubber band and you're creating too much bounce throughout the muscle, if that makes sense. So that would be what a stretch would do. However, a warm-up, mind you, would be getting the muscle ready for what's about to come and or joint for what's about to come. So I would warm up to that exercise, but I wouldn't stretch for that exercise. So on the same instance, let's take leg press, for example. And what you want to achieve is taking the joints and muscle through the motion of what's about to come. So if my heaviest load is 100 kilos, for example, I would load up with about 10% and go through the movement just until I've got enough blood and joint, you've built up enough fluid in the joints to get the movement. So if it's your knees, for example, if this was your knee and you're doing this, you want to be able to do this without any load on it, but you're building up synovial fluid in your joint, so creating that lubrications for what's about to come because you're about to put it under load. So I would warm up the joint, I would warm up the muscle, but I wouldn't stretch the muscle. If I was going to do a perhaps long distance running, maybe I'd stretch the muscle. Stretching's good for after the exercise. There's actually been studies shown that if you're wanting to create, I think it was a university in America, I can't quote it right this second, but it says when you stretch before an intro, you actually build muscle fibers for that particular muscle. So if you're looking for muscle growth, I would stretch before and during. But if you're looking to lift as much as you possibly can, stretching's not the best way to do it because you've just essentially created that elasticity in your muscles. How important is it though is the question. It's very important. But make sure that you're warming up and or stretching for specificity of the exercise you're about to undertake. So like I said, you wouldn't go and stretch out your hamstrings if you're going to do a bicep curl. I mean, that's just logic. And I wouldn't expect anyone to actually do that. But put your body through about 10% to 20% of what's about to come. So if you're going in for a max lift of 100, say, put it through a good warm-up set, 1 or 2 warm-up sets of 10%, 10 to 20%. So I would go in and do maybe just the bar, which is 20 kilos on squats and or 20 kilos of the leg press, depending, like I said, on your maximum load. But put your muscles and your joints through the motion on a very light resistance. That way you're creating it's not so much pressure on your central nervous system, and you actually are gearing up for what's about to come, if that makes any sense. So how important is warm-ups and stretching? Very. Just make sure that you're doing it in correlation with the exercise that you're about to do. So if I'm going to do chest, I'd warm up the chest maybe with some push-ups just to get the blood flowing, get the shoulders in, because there's a lot of shoulder movement when you're doing a bench exercise or a chest exercise, so you want to get them warmed up. So doing things that, on a lighter resistance to get the body ready. I hope that answers your question, Trav. If not, comment below. Guys, no shortcuts, no excuses. See you in the next video. As usual, thanks for watching. Comment and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. See you later. Bye.
So